So we're here on set with Master Miller. He's about to give you some tips and tricks on how to overcome beat block. So if you've ever been jamming up creatively, make sure to lock in, pay attention. Sound Society beat block, let's go. So you made your first 100 trash beats, made another 100 mediocre joints that you're not even proud enough to share with anybody, but for some odd reason you still keep them stashed in a folder, hidden within a folder labeled Almost Fire. But this isn't all for nothing, because on a couple of those nights, lightning strikes, you strike gold, which leads you to create another folder with 5 of your hottest joints labeled I Got This. Now with your confidence at an all-time high, you jump in a session just like any other night, you've gotten enough sleep, coffee's at an arm's reach, and in the first 10 minutes, boom, beat block. Now what is beat block? It's exactly what it sounds like. Beat block is when your creative juices get so jammed up that you can't create. Now if this has ever been you, come on, creativity, come through. I mean, let's keep it real. I think we all been there.
Why is this happening?
So I just want to go on a record and say, not pushing your development as a musician, using the same sound packs month after month, all the while failing to draw from new inspiration is all a recipe for disaster and a surefire way to get beat block.
We got this, we're still dope. We're still dope, right?
But it's all good. Got good news for you.
So what are we gonna do?
So one thing I keep handy in my bag of tricks, a sure thing to keep the creativity flowing is, can I get a drum roll? Drum roll, please.
Oh, drum roll.
Tip number 1, Splice. And I will continue to talk about it. Splice is an online music creation and collaboration platform. Trying to expedite a vibe and needed some drum loops? No problem. Splice has drum loops galore. Or maybe you already have a snare you like and you just need an 808 or hi-hat loop isolated. Splice has that too. Then for those who prefer to start with the melody, Splice has you covered. Melodies have never been easier to get going. Just use Splice's smart filters, type in the BPM, then type in the key, where you can even choose from minor or major. And if you still can't pin the vibe, you can even further filter the sound you're looking for by inputting your genre of choice. And for those who suffer from loop complex like I once did and want to create more organically, Splice has enough one-shots, but by the time you get halfway through the library, they've already updated the site with more samples. See where I'm going here? Who is beat block? You have beat block? Not using Splice, you don't. So jump on Splice, give it a try, and catch a vibe.
What if we're just having one of those days and we just can't seem to get things going?
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never been there. But another thing that I find that has never failed me, and we have some science to support this claim, brings me to tip number 2. Achieving a creative flow state. Or in other words, changing your brainwave state.
Change your brainwave state.
And how can we effectively do this? By us taking part in any activity that will pull us out of what is known as the beta brainwave state and bring us into what is known as the theta brainwave state. Pay attention. So check, here's where it gets interesting. Now, although this beta state involves being deeply focused on a task and productivity, over-arousal in this beta state can lead to the inability to focus and being creative altogether due to the constant release of stress hormones. All that to say, if you're struggling with flow, let's be smart about it. Don't force the creativity, just switch states, beta to theta. So of course, as you all are wondering, what activities will help us achieve that? Well, while there are several, the 2 particular activities that help me are a nice ride around town where I can set it to cruise control and zone out, and then of course 2, a good old shower. Either of the 2 activities allow me to switch states and fall into a creative flow state with ease. And since we're talking music here, you're gonna wanna keep your phone out of arm's reach. So when that beat or lyric comes to you, you can mouth it out and capture it with your voice memo app, where it can be re-recorded or recreated at a later time. Look, being alone is cool. We all need our alone time. But if you're struggling over there and you happen to be struggling by yourself, I need you to remember that your favorite records at the end of the day were a group effort. Which brings me to tip number 3. Collaboration. Music creation is a beautiful thing, and it is in my opinion that the music creation process was not meant to be done alone. So I began to make music some time ago, and although I could definitely make some cool stuff on my own, I lacked in certain depths of musicianship and knowledge in music theory. And well, that's where collaboration comes in. With that being said, now's the perfect time to introduce a talented musician and friend of mine to help me illustrate this section. So everybody, meet Ben. A multi-instrumentalist that can practically play the piano in his sleep. Man, it was always cool to me how he could hear a snippet of a song and immediately tell me what key it's in. All of my shortcomings being his strengths. And what do I bring to the table? Well, let's just say I'm the style and the flavor to the production, and well, it helps if you know how to record a mix too. So that, my friends, in short, is why and how collaboration can be so powerful. When you have a duo or a small group that each has their own strengths that plays into the other individual's weakness. And in addition to all that, we all have different influences and musical backgrounds, which brings about different musical tastes. And when mixed together in an open-minded environment can make for some pretty dope music. #collaborate more. Ladies and gentlemen, beatblock is now a thing of the past. Now we want to find ways and acquire the tools that are going to enhance our creative workflow as a producer / music creator. I presented it as tip number 1, but did not even begin to scratch the surface on how Splice has changed the game for me and my audio production. So you already know we got a video loaded up for y'all, so go ahead and click that video on the left-hand side. I'm Master Miller. Next video, let's go.